Ginette, thank you for meeting me virtually via Zoom. I know the world we live in today is different than it was just a year ago. I mean, even still, I know it's end of April. We started going crazy, but one thing that has not stopped is the Utah Food Bank, right?
Correct.
And for those of you listening in, I'm meeting with Ginette Bott. She's the director of the Utah Food Bank. You're located up in Salt Lake, is that correct?
It is.
And how long have you been the director of the Utah Food Bank?
So actually, I'm president and CEO. Let's don't discount that title, for
There we
heaven's
go.
sake.
I knew I had the title wrong. I appreciate you fixing that.
I have been in that role for 3 years. I've been on the
Awesome.
payroll with the food bank since 2009, but I've been involved since 1993.
Wow, awesome. Well, and I was talking to Linda here at our local level, and she's been with the food bank for, I think she said 20 years. Is that right?
Oh,
20
longer than
plus?
that. Longer than that. We both kind of got involved just about the same time. So we're lifers.
That's awesome. Well, so I want to educate the real estate agents at Keller Williams that are going to be doing our May 13th event. It's Red Day, and the acronym for RED is Renew, Energize, and Donate. And what we like to do across the company, we have 180,000 agents worldwide. We have 156 roughly thousand agents in the United States, but then we have extras all across the globe. We take the second Thursday of May every single year, and we give back to all the communities. We make sure every agent stops what they're doing and does some kind of a charity work. And this year, we're going to the local Utah Food Bank to donate our time, and we're trying to raise about $5,000. From what I understand, $5,000 can sponsor a school for a full year in the mobile deliveries. Can you tell me a little bit about that program that you have?
Absolutely. And it's so important to know that organizations like yours are taking time from what it is you do best to help those of us who are trying to help so many. And the Utah Food Bank started in 1904. So we've been at this for 117 years. We've been serving Southern Utah for over 35 years. But in 2009, we purchased our warehouse out on River Road. We started with a local presence. And now we serve 41 partner agencies throughout the area across the bottom portion of our state. Not
Wow.
only with food, do we also bring them to the community direct service programs like the mobile school pantry program. And the sponsorship of that your company would provide allows us to go to a public school once a month on a set day. For example, the third Thursday of every month, we pull onto the grounds of the Utah Food Bank truck and we deliver groceries to children, to staff, perhaps administrative staff, or families, parents of those kids. They come, they take the food they need, and it helps them get to the next paycheck or the next time they can get to a store. So we need help from folks just like you to be able to allow us to do additional schools.
That's awesome. Well, and I know the food bank does a lot of different things, and they get donations from all different kind of organizations. And you said they work in a partnership with 41 agencies.
41 agencies are served out of the warehouse in St. George.
Awesome.
We have a total partnership of over 205 partner agencies or pantries throughout the entire state of Utah. So Utah Food Bank, being an affiliate of Feeding America, is responsible for all emergency food throughout the entire state of Utah. So as much as we love Utah, geographically, it really isn't an easy task to get to all 29 counties, but we're able to do it easier having a location in Southern Utah, but then having folks just like you that are willing to help us do what we need to do.
Yeah, that's awesome. So I think you told me we serve 5 counties. Is that right?
Yes.
And of those 5 counties, can you give me some of the demographics and some of the needs and things in those communities? I don't know if you have kind of an idea of how much food you donate and what the need is out there, but I think it'd be interesting to have some of us that just don't know the needs, because a lot of times we like to walk in our town thinking that there's not really a whole lot of problems, and that's just not the case. Is that right?
The thing that's so interesting, hunger has such a different look in a rural community versus across the Wasatch Front, but it doesn't make it any less of a problem. So as we look at how we serve in Southern Utah particularly, we really have to consider transportation. So we take a mobile pantry and we visit places like Kanab, Panguitch, Tropic, Burl. When people can't get to a brick and mortar pantry, we're going to them. The same is true with our schools. If these kids or parents can't get to a brick and mortar pantry, again, we go to them. And, for us to be able to say we're serving elementary schools throughout all of Washington County and Iron County is incredible, because think of the number of kids that really are helping their families. They bring those products home.
Yeah.
This last year through the pandemic has been such a challenge because everyone else had to stay home. But those of us who were kind of on the front lines, we had to do what we do. And
Yeah.
so over the course of the year statewide, we've distributed about 70 million pounds of food. And I always joke and say that's a lot of green beans. But when you stop and think about when you haul your food in from the grocery store to the kitchen to put it away, multiply that enough to figure out 70 million pounds and know what an awesome job we are tasked with, and what an incredible job my staff does to serve all the folks in all 29 counties with the programs we have.
Yeah.
Our school pantries, in the area alone, if you think about it, we go once a month, but you multiply that by the number of schools, we're doing 50 deliveries per school district.
Yeah.
We'll have maybe, over 8,000 kids that we're serving on a regular basis. Multiply that by the number in their family. Hunger is huge. 1 in 5 people in the state of Utah are challenged with food insecurity. That means they don't know where their next meal is coming from. So the biggest challenge there are our kids. Our
Yeah.
kids can't be hungry. They can't learn. They can't grow. Their health is impaired. Their social behavior has changed. Kids aren't who they need to be when they don't eat. So from the perspective that I have, and having kids raised and gone and having grandkids, there's nothing worse than knowing at the end of the day, you have nothing to feed those kids. So it's folks like all of you that help us with the 3 things we need: that food, time, and money. Those are the things that come from donors. Those are the things that we take with your trust and implement the delivery to folks throughout all, particularly in your communities right there in Southern Utah.
Yeah, I was able to meet yesterday. I went through the local distribution center, and I was able to meet a couple of the mobile delivery drivers and the community of staff that you hear locally, and they have such a passion for what they do on a regular basis. I know there's not a whole lot of economic impact that they get out of this, because being a nonprofit, there's not a whole lot of money to be spread around, because that goes back into the donations of the people that need it. But you could tell everyone that was there was so happy to be doing what they did on a daily basis. I was happy to walk through while there were some volunteers. We have a local golf course here that their pickleball team came, and they were packing mobile delivery bags, and they were doing non-food items. So you do food items and non-food items depending on the donations that you get. Is that right?
Absolutely. Almost any single item that you have in your home, at some point we probably have seen it come through the food bank. But think of the things that you need in your house, whether it's cleaning supplies or hygiene items or pet food, for example, or perhaps diapers. All those kinds of things families need to be able to have, but those are items that are really expensive and hard to afford. So anything that comes through us, we try to find a way to get it immediately turned around, get it out to those families who are struggling. And the pandemic will end and the economy will rebound. We watched the stock market, we watched the successes that have happened financially. But if you think of a family who lost their job, who now might be faced with perhaps eviction, or they're losing their home, or their car's been repossessed, whatever it is, it's going to take them a long time to recover. So we aren't looking just here at the next couple of months. We're planning the next 12 to 18 months for sustainability, to be able to help those families get back to where they were before the pandemic.
Yeah, absolutely. And I really love this project and what you guys have put into it. If you were to say the one need outside of raising money, and I know a lot of times I'll have members of my own community that'll say, well, I can give money, but time isn't always the thing that they have to give out. Out of those things, you said food, time, and money. What's the donations that you see that you need the most of, or that you get the least of, that you could use
It's
more
really,
of?
that's kind of a trick question in a way, because if you look at all 3, each has an incredible value.
Yeah.
For every dollar that comes to us, we can turn it into $8.03 with our buying power. We buy at such high volumes at discounted prices, or directly from the manufacturer. I can shop much better than you can at a store. So money is incredibly important. Plus we have overhead and operating costs.
Right.
time is so valuable. We had enough volunteer hours last year. I would have had to have hired another 54 full-time people to do what we do across the state. I have to have volunteers. And if you look at food, the variety is awesome because what you have in your pantry is what you're going to donate to another family. If your kids and your family love it, so will someone else. So it's really tough for me to pick between the three because I need all three to be able to balance what it is we do.
Yeah.
But most importantly, maybe a sidestep from those three items is education and awareness. I need you to come to the food bank and maybe volunteer or drop off that check or bring the food. And then I need you to go to your neighbor and say, hey, I just did this. Or I need you to look around your neighborhood. I can't look at you and see if you're hungry, but you can tell if a family is having a challenge of some sort. So look out for people, see if you notice they are in need, let them know that services are available. It's as easy for them to call 211. It's a toll-free number. Use the zip code and the folks who answer the phone will tell them where services are available in their specific neighborhood. So education and awareness are two things I'm asking you to help me with as well.
Man, that's awesome. We can't wait to help. On May 13th is when we're going to be there. I have a goal of getting 60 of our agents and clients and families and friends to help on that Thursday. And our goal is to raise $5,000. I think we've raised 840 just in the last 24 hours. So we're on our way to raising that money by in the next couple of weeks. So Ginette, thank you for your time. I really appreciate you doing this via Zoom. I hope you have a great day. And when you come back down to St. George, I hope we get to meet. Okay.
Thank you so much. Thanks for your time. This has been an awesome opportunity for us to meet. And after this time that you put into this, I'm hoping your folks will come back on their own time and join us again. Thanks.
Oh, I'm sure they will. I'm sure they will. Thank you so much.
Bye.
Bye-bye.